Hey everyone out there, welcome to episode 26 of In It to Spin It. Fantastic band on the show this week. They've been cultivating their sound for 9 years down in Portland. They've reached their full potential with their new album White Lighter, which is less than a month old. We sit down with Devin Gallagher of Typhoon. So the Tragically Hip were in Vancouver this week playing three pretty much sold out nights at the Orpheum. There was no opening band for these. A bit of a horrible review, a scathing review actually after the first show. So the second night, which is the one I went to, front row, they really pulled out all the stops. It was a fantastic hip show. Yeah, last of the Unplucked Gems played there for only the 28th time ever. First time this tour. Gord was in full effect. Fantastic night, can't say enough. Reminded me why I've seen this band so many times. Great, great stuff. So the 2013 lineup for Neil Young's Bridge School benefit that he's been throwing for 27 years has been announced. Tickets go on sale today. Quite the lineup, he's really outdone himself. They stream this every year on YouTube live, so it's something worth tuning into. Great performances. Keep an eye out for that. So parcel time here on In It to Spin It. This parcel wouldn't be in my hand if it wasn't for a Vancouver band that appeared on episode 4 of this very show. While looking on YouTube, I saw a Violet Age video from their very first show covering a British band by the name of Ride. Shoegaze pioneers. Really, this album, Nowhere by them, this is a repress, is like one of the high watermarks, it turns out, for the shoegaze genre, which I am a big fan of. I love the sound, swirling guitars, pedals, lots of that stuff on here. I don't know how I'd never heard of this, perhaps you haven't, and I'm passing it on to you. So I wish someone had to me earlier. So thank you Violet Age, check those guys out, great noisemakers out of Vancouver. That's what we're listening to right now, enjoy. So Typhoon are making some of the most powerful, well-written music around right now, and unbelievably, they're still not that talked about. Pitchfork has never reviewed them, neither has The Needle Drop. People need to start listening. Their new album, White Lighter, is an incredible, emotional, cohesive listen. Check it out. Here's the interview. One, two, three. Let's do it. Hey everyone out there, we are here in Vancouver, of course, at the Rickshaw Theatre before a gig with Typhoon. It is their first show on the White Lighter Tour 2013. We're here with Devin Gallagher from the band. Say hi to everyone out there, buddy.
How's it going?
Very happy to have you here, for making time once again. It's amazing of you to squeeze us in here. Thanks for being on In It to Spin It. So Typhoon is from Portland. Yeah, and you've been cultivating a sound for the last few years.
Great. 8, going on 9 years.
Yeah, going on 9 years, and what a sound it is. You've been gaining a lot of attention in the last couple of years, especially for that. You've been in the band since day one, so maybe briefly just give us a little synopsis of how that formed 8 or 9 years ago and how it all came together.
Sure. Most of us that started the band grew up in Salem, just south of Portland together. Yeah. And we all kind of had high school bands. And around the time we were all graduating, Kyle, the songwriter from Typhoon, decided that, he had some songs that needed some people to help him make an album out of it. And he just kind of invited everyone to do it. Instead of just picking his 3 favorites, he was like, well, we're all friends, let's all just make this record.
Awesome, man.
So we did that, and then we played some shows because it seemed to make sense, and then eventually we didn't really realize, we didn't know what we were doing anymore. We took a break, and after a year we decided it was something we all wanted to keep doing, and Kyle wrote another amazing record, and we just came back swinging and been going since.
And that amazing record was
Hunger. Was Hunger and Thirst.
Okay, so we've got that here, Hunger and Thirst.
Beautiful.
This is the first pressing, the sought-after white vinyl, I will say. I was very lucky to find this. I don't think the record store quite knew what they had. This starts off with Starting Over and White Liars, 2 amazing tracks. Flashes of brilliance on this that maybe we would see later. Fully, maybe the ideas developed more fully. What else? This is limited to 500, right? But it has now since been repressed.
It's been repressed so many times I can't even keep track. But yeah, the first pressing, the white ones are 500. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Very happy to have that. So, among other things, you are credited in here. This guy playing the glockenspiel and the plastic bag.
Of course.
I gotta hear the story behind the plastic bag. What song, so we can keep our ears open?
It's on Happy People.
Okay.
It's kind of a quieter number on there, and when we were rehearsing it, one of the drummers was using a brush on his snare drum head, which if you're a percussionist you'll know makes a kind of a scratchy percussive sound, and we were trying to make that happen live without expending an entire drummer on such a minimal sound. And Toby, our bass player, just all of a sudden was like, why don't you use a plastic bag?
Nice.
And we did it at some shows, and when it came time to record it, it just seemed to make sense. Yeah, it was just what we always had done, so. Awesome. Yeah.
Okay, that's a great one we can leave behind. And then between Hunger and Thirst and White Lighter, you had a very memorable EP called A New Kind of House, which may have put you guys on the radar of a lot of people initially on the strength of the Amazing and Honest Truth song. It's a fantastic song off this EP. Now, this is not first press. This is a clear coat bottle.
The clear one.
So that's the second press.
Yeah.
But fantastic song. Huge emotion in that. Gang vocals, like big voices. And it was at this time that you also played Letterman.
Yeah.
And you played that song on Letterman. So what was that experience like?
It was very surreal. We had done like 3 all-night drives right before that.
Okay.
So we were all running on less than no sleep, and they picked us up at 5:30 in the morning to go start rehearsing.
Really?
The studio is kept at a chilly temperature all day long. So just everything about it was like an out-of-body experience. It didn't sink in until we were done and we got in the car to leave. And then it was like, oh my God, we just did that. Let's go get a drink right now.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned the temperature of the studio, because it's like, I don't know why they do that, but everyone
50
does
degrees is what they told me.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. What can we go on to next? In 2012, we had a beautiful limited edition Common Sentiment single off Tender Loving Empire. This is a precursor to the White Lighter album. This is, I gotta say, absolutely beautifully pressed, silkscreen embossed 45 on white, limited to 200.
Yeah, they really went all out with the packaging.
It's beautiful. It's my favorite 45 package I own, not to mention the kick-ass songs, Common Sentiments and Green. That was like just to wet your whistle for White Lighter, which is now out for 2013. You said August 20th?
20th,
Right on. So that first pressing is sold out. I don't have it here.
I don't even think I got a first pressing.
Yeah, oh really?
I think I got the repress,
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about the recording of White Lighter and goals that the band set out, and maybe touch on the 6 weeks you spent at the farm recording it?
We didn't. I mean, the band didn't talk too much about what our goals were as a group, but I think all of us had really high hopes going into it. For me, we've been a band for so long, and that was the first time I felt like we were capable of making the record that I always thought we should be making. You know.
And I agree. I think that you have, like what I said, all this stuff leading up, I think, to this pinnacle of White Lighter. It's just a fantastic, huge listen. So
because we had spent so much time touring, we were able to save a little money, and we all took about 6 months off, or 6 weeks rather, off work, and we lived at a farm together.
Nice.
And Kyle's the songwriter. He wrote all the songs, but as far as arranging them and really turning them into Typhoon songs, the whole band was present for the whole process, and that's fantastic. That was really awesome for as someone who's in the band and not a songwriter. That was a real awesome turning point for the band to be able to really fully realize ourselves as a band, and not just like a project of a songwriter with all these people contributing, which was worth it if that's all it was going to be anyway, because we all love his songs. But
speaking of that, the emotional content in these songs is what sort of lured me into you guys. We saw you here in April of 2012, and seeing the live show was amazing. Definitely Kyle is a big part of that. Absolutely dynamic, magnetic frontman, obviously bursting with creativity right now. What's it like seeing that behind, or you being behind that on stage? And
I mean, my first the first thing I ever knew about Kyle was listening to his band. I used to listen to his band when we were in middle school.
Oh, really?
Every day riding the school bus, and they were like my favorite band because I knew that they were from the same town as me and that they were only a little bit older, and yet it was Toby was in that band and Tyler was also in that band.
What's the name of that?
They were called the Mops. They have a 7-inch out.
Yeah.
If any
from way back.
Real hardcore collectors might have that. Yeah, that's pre-Typhoon. And that was actually how I met all of them. Is I recorded that 7-inch for them, and became friends with my favorite band, and then next thing I knew, they asked me to record the first Typhoon album. So that was kind of how I got into the band, because I was the kid who had Pro Tools.
Awesome, man.
And got lucky enough to stick around.
Cool.
So I mean, Kyle's one of my best friends, but I've always been a big fan too.
No, he's definitely, I mean, you guys are like a 12 or 14 piece. I don't know what you're touring with now, 12, but he's definitely got that energy. It's truly something special.
For sure.
Where is everybody right now? Are they all like hanging out?
They're all probably getting ready to watch Radiation City.
Yeah, because
they're in the venue walking around.
Cool, we'll look out for him. I think that's all I've got for you anyways, man. But I want to thank you for doing this, of course, being on Minute to Spin It, making the time, and congrats with an amazing record, White Lighter.
Thanks so much.
What's the single, the Cannibalism single?
Dreams of Cannibalism, and then Young Fathers is the new single.
Both incredible. And Hunger and Thirst is a song on, you went like the old Led Zeppelin Houses of the Holy
I was glad, someone referenced that. I thought that was cool. It's cool. For Kyle, like the White Lighter is very autobiographical in a chronological sense, so that song is about him writing Hunger and Thirst, pretty much.
Cool.
It's kind of that point in his life,
Nice. Okay, well that wraps it up. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.
Pour out a little liquor, take 4.
1, 2, 3, rolling?
Rolling.
Okay, so I don't know how many of the viewers of In It to Spin It know what a huge hip-hop fan I am. My old school vinyl collection is the most viewed on YouTube. You can check that out right here. It wouldn't be right. This episode is airing September 13th, 2013, the 17th anniversary of Tupac's death. So we'll pay homage to him here and pour out a little liquor for Pac.